in a cool room, just for the fact that the amount of glycol coolers that I'd need for my vats would probably come out at the same price as having a cool room put in.
Yep. Okay. Because that's how Steve was doing it in a refrigerated container. So that's why I was just wondering whether you were going that plan or not.
No, I'll probably go cool room rather than glycol coolers on the vats. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. As warm, as hot as it gets there. I mean, glycol coolers are all fine and well, but that's sort of presuming that it's not already ridiculously hot outside, or purple, as they call it. Yeah. I saw the article where they were saying that they just started using a new color down there for how hot it is, called purple, when it gets really, really hot.
Really hot.
Oh dear. Yeah. So purple is worse than red hot?
Yeah.
Yes, purple's worse than red hot.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah. That's your skin color if you step outside.
Yeah. Purple?
Beyond red hot into stinking hot. Got it.
Bit.
It's Bochet
there was,
hot,
Bochet hot.
Now there was a particular mead of yours that was of interest to me, and that was the Quandong mead, which is using the native Australian. Is it a berry? What do we call it?
It's a wild peach.
It's a wild peach. Okay.
It's a wild peach.
And where do you collect them from?
Well, here in Australia, it's actually illegal to pick them off the side of the road. But I have a supplier. Yeah, it's illegal to actually go. Yeah, well, it's actually illegal to go and pick them off the side of the road. Get in trouble for that.
Wow. Okay.
But I have a supplier here in what we call the Flinders Ranges, which is a big area for like wild fruits and things like that. And I get them from their orchard, because Quandong is a really hard tree to grow because it's a parasite and it needs a host, and it's ridiculously hard to grow. I've tried about 3 or 4 times and mine just get no bigger than about an inch tall.
Oh wow.
So, but they're just ridiculously hard to grow. But this guy in Quorn actually has an orchard of them.
Wow, you need his secret.
I need his secret.
I'm curious, why is it illegal to pick them up off the side of the road?
I don't know why it's illegal, but because Quandong season here in Australia is around about October, and I was thinking, maybe I'll go bush and go pick my own Quandongs, until I found out that you can get into really big trouble if you're caught.
Maybe we've got some rules against certain plants being picked here too, and it might be to keep them from being overpicked.
Yeah, it could be.
Because there are places you're not allowed to pick wild garlic, that type of thing.
Okay.
Drops is weird, though. I mean, once they're dropped, you'd think that you do whatever you want with them,
Unless they want them left there for the birds to be able to, the wild birds and that, to be able to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that too.
Yeah. But Quandong has a very distinct flavour. It's not sweet like a peach. It's got more of a tart flavour to it. Mm-hmm. And when you go making it into a mead, you've got a sort of a mix of the tart and the sweet.
Does it add a lot of sugar to the must?
It must do, because it brews and finishes off pretty quickly. It can finish off in probably about 6 weeks.
Oh, maybe it also has nutrients that the honey.
It's probably got the nutrients, and maybe it might even have wild yeast on the Quandongs themselves. That helps.
So you are blending. You didn't even know it. You're blending yeast.
Yeah, probably blending, and I don't even know it yet.
That's cool. Now I want some.
Apparently, foraging or picking Australian native plants from the wild is breaking the law, because if you take plants or seeds or fruit from the bush, you're depleting the native seed source and natural regeneration of those plants.
Okay. Now we know.
Google says Kwandongs got really, really trendy, so everybody was picking them, and there were not enough left.
That's believable.
Yeah.
Do they have a stone or seeds?
Yeah, they have. They do have. It's a stone that's actually inside. The fruit itself is probably the size of a ping pong ball.
Okay.
And inside that is the seed or the stone is probably the size of a marble.
Okay.
And they need to actually regenerate, make another tree. You need to crack that really hard outer shell of the seed.
Oh.
And it has to have a host to grow with it.
Host?
Yeah, because it's a parasite.
It's a parasite.
So, how would you describe how it tastes?
It's tart. It is an acquired taste on its own. It's a really hard taste to describe. Kwandongs. It's not peachy, if you know what I mean. It hasn't got a peachy taste. I don't know why they call it a peach. It's just a really tart flavour.
Well, they had to call it something.
They had to call it something.
Yeah. Maybe it needs to go through an emu or something in order to germinate.
Yes.
You also mentioned you have 10 acres there. Do you grow any of your own fruit for the meat?
Yes, yes, I do. The blackberries and the blueberries I grow. What else have I got? I've got strawberries. I haven't done the strawberry mead for a while. The birds seem to like my strawberries. What else have I got? The chilies, because I dry the chilies.
What sort of chilies?
Hot ones. Really hot ones.
I was just wondering if it was like a particular variety that maybe is native to Australia, or if it was one that we're familiar with.
No, not really. I just go to the garden shop and buy a packet of chili seeds, and just grow them and then dry them. Not any particular variety.
Interesting. So just chilies.
Chilies. Yeah, that's about all I grow to go into the meads. Like all my herbs. So all my other flowers, like the Viking blood has got hibiscus in it. That's the colour. It's the hibiscus in the Viking blood.
Okay.
I source from a herb and flower supplier here in Australia.
So tell me about the Viking blood there too. Do you use hops at all with that?
Yeah, yes, I do.
I told you there was, Vicky.
Yeah, I know. It seemed like it had hops, and I remember that because we were trying to decide.
Yeah, it's hibiscus, hops, and black pepper.
Oh.
Ah.
In the plain Viking blood, and then there's a spiced one which has also got cinnamon and cloves in it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's a really, really big seller at medieval festivals.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah, it would be a big. I'd be getting a case of it at least.
How
like that one.
How difficult did you find it to go from making your 5-liter batches to upsizing? Do you just upsize proportionately? What have you figured?
Yeah, I just upsize it proportionately to whatever goes into 5 litres. If I do 25 litres, then I just make the batches like I'm making 5 lots of 5-litre batches.
Oh, okay. Have you noticed? Is there a difference in the way that that like something bigger, like a 25 or bigger, batch ferments, are there any things that you need to watch out for that you wouldn't with like a small 5 liter or 10?
No, not really. I don't have any. I didn't have any problems going from 5 liter to the 25s or even bigger, as long as I keep the amounts the same.
What about
Sueann, we've got a question from Joel of 100 and the Harp Meadery in Wellington.
Yep.
He'd like to know which hops you were using in the Viking Blood, which variety?
Cascade.
Oh wow.
The Cascade hops.
Sorry, Manny, I'll let you get back to that then.
No, yeah. I mean, because I've never made anything bigger than a 5 gallon. I keep hearing that temperature becomes an issue. It gets really hot when you get when you start getting the bigger batches. Have you found that was an issue, or you just went with it and it was fine?
No, I haven't had any issues. I just went with it, and they're fine. If I have failures, then there's nothing I can do about it. But luckily, I haven't had a real lot of failure with any of my meads. Yeah.
It's good when your failures are still good enough that your tasters will take it off your hands for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Geez, Sueann, this stuff's terrible. Here, I'll dispose of that for you.
Oh, gee, let me save everybody else from that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do. I get that too.
So,
speaking of your tasters, I was wondering, are you deliberately going for a bit of nostalgic line? You've got your Fry's Turkish Delight, and your orange and chocolate is just... We saw a few people taste it, and they just went, "That's a Jaffa."
It is a Jaffa.
Jaffa, all around the room. It's a Jaffa.
Yeah. No, I just well, I like free chocks. Free chocks is a chocolate coated apricot ball that we can get here in South Australia. I don't think you can get it anywhere else but South Australia. So the apricot and chocolate is based on like free chocks, and then your Turkish Delight again, I based it on your Fry's Turkish Delight, and of course your Jaffas. I think I did deliberately go out to make them very similar.
Yeah, well, you nailed it.
Because they are my favourite lollies or sweets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely nailed it on the flavour there. So much so that it probably wouldn't make much difference which honey you were using for it. That was such a powerful flavour that the honey almost became very background. Which for what it is no worries. They were a beautiful dessert mead. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
I ran out of things to say,
and I had to taste the Turkish Delight.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. That is really chocolate and coffee and.
But the chocolate follows up afterwards. It's like almost the opposite of a Fry's. It's like chocolate wrapped in Turkish Delight.
Yeah.
Turkish Delight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get the Turkish Delight first, and then the chocolate comes in afterwards.
And there's some coffee notes in there too, and that honey throughout the whole thing. That amazing blend of honey. That is so. It's very signature. I'm gonna be having when I come to Australia. I'm gonna be having to hit customs and see just exactly how much mead can I haul home, and then figure out how I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Well, if I know anybody who's coming to America, I can always send some with them.
Yeah.
I'll take you up on that. You know.
Yeah. Let's
I think you'll have a few people.
Let me
If
know.
this had been 3 weeks ago, my mom was there.
Yeah.
Oh, my husband about 2 weeks ago just got back from there.
Oh, okay.
So.
We need to make a pipeline. So who does the business side of the operation?
My husband does. He's the business brain side. He's the business brain side of it, and I'm the brewer side of it. But he does all my business for me. does all my printing, all my labels.